if you're still using cursor rules the old way, you're missing out on a massive upgrade. And in this video, I'll break down what's new, why it matters, and how you can integrate Supabase base prompt into this new layout. And I'm going to show you how to take full advantage of it. All right, so let's get started with the new prompts that Supabase just released. So these are prompts that allow you to optimize the way you're using Supabase with your AI IDE. So they've released a couple of prompts over here. You can see here, code format SQL, database create migration, database function, database RRS policies, edge function, and next Supabase off. So these are like think about it like your good prompt for using Supabase with your AI ID. And these are really, really complete. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can take this prompt and add it in the new layout of Cursor. So let's head over to Cursor right here. So if you want to use these new rules, all you have to do is head over to Cursor. You click on Cursor settings. I believe if you scroll down to project rules, these are the new rules that you can add. And the way it works is pretty straightforward. If you just click add new rules, I can name this a random rule, for example. This is not a great name, but that illustrates my idea. And then you can add a description. Make sure to be descriptive with this, and then you can add the glob. So this thing is really, really cool because whenever you specify something over here, it's going to follow this pattern in order to automatically apply AI rules. And this is pretty cool. So how you can use it here is, let's say, for example, if you wanted to use some of those new rules that Supabase have given to us, you can see over here, they say, here's this description to use. So you can copy this description right here, paste it there, and these are the global rules. So I can paste it over here. And then I can just copy the entire file and it's paste it right here. And here I have it. This is the new rules that Supabase has given us to make it better for us to use their rules. And of course, I want to make sure to name the file something similar because this naming convention can be super helpful for the AI to also understand what file you're using and identify it a little bit better. So I recommend to go over this file. You can find this in the Supabase repository at Supabase. Then you click on example prompt and you're going to see the list of all the prompts. There's also a really amazing prompt for authentication. So if you've ever tried to create authentication with Supabase, you sometimes run into a lot of different issues. And I personally have dealt with a lot of issues installing it because the AI always either use an old version or make some just stupid mistake. So I end up spending a lot of loops trying to fix that, right? So if you want to avoid this loop of like fixing things with the AI, you can just copy this one over here and do exactly what we just did by creating a new rules. You'll notice that the rule file has an MDC extension. So I can also create it here and I'm going to call it off.mdc. And similarly, I can just paste it there and use this recommended description and this recommended glob so that it will only apply those rules to those specific files. So this is the difference between the previous cursor rule file that we used to use before that was like .cursor rules, that was for your workspace, and these rules. These rules are applied based on different contexts. So the AI will be able to be smart enough to browse this folder structure and figure out what rules to use depending on the context and knowing when to apply them depending on the glob. So if you're dealing with TypeScript files or with JSX files, it will know that it should apply those rules to those files. And this is pretty amazing. So I want to show you quickly how I've personally used those rules myself. Let me head over to my project over here. I'm going to show you what I've done. So if you scroll over here to the top, I'm going to show you some of the rules that I had previously in Cursor. So if I go to Cursor settings and scroll down, you can see that I've already added those two new rules right here. So these rules are for detecting duplicated files. So for example, if I head over to Cursor right here, I'm going to show you what rule I had before. Let me see. I believe I had them in my globals rules and I might have, no, they're still here. Yes. So I had these rules in my global file initially, and then I started using the new Cursor approach and added them in these project rules. And this is actually much better. I don't actually need this anymore. I can even delete it now. But you'll see the difference here is that over here, I say, before creating a route file, always double check whether a route.ts or route.js already exists to avoid creating duplicates. So what was happening is that whenever I was working with Cursor and not referencing the route.js file that I was using or route.ts, it will always duplicate them, assuming that they don't exist. So to avoid these mistakes, I ask it to that whenever we're working with a file, to always double check if there's already a duplicate before creating it, so that I don't end up with route.js and route.jsx or route.ts at the same time. So you can only always rely on a single file. So the way I implemented that with the rules is by specifying the globs. And the way I actually got this prompt was pretty simple. I just went into the chat and I asked it to generate me some rules that I could use specifically for this use case. So yeah, so I head over here, type exactly what I wanted to do. I want rules to do X, Y, Z, and I asked exactly what I wanted, and it generated me the rules for this new format. It gave me the description and the globs that I needed to use. And this is how I was able to create that. And I've also done that for my route.js files and route.ts, as you can see. And I have other rules that I've added. So those one are the one from Supabase I've already added into my file. And I have a page creation rules as well. Do not create duplicate of the same file if it already exists in one of these formats. So this is how you can use the new rules of Cursor. This is the go-to way to do it. This one went straight under the radar. I don't know how. They haven't announced it into the changelog, but a lot of people are still using the .cursor rules, and it still works. They just have different way of being applied. I'll make a video where I explain how memory works and how rules are being prioritized on Windsurf and Cursor. So make sure to stay tuned for this one. And in the meantime, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check one of those videos right here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.